Build the Earth, a monumental project to completely build our pale blue dot in the universe within the confines of Minecraft. A project which is only in its infancy and will likely span generations. We have now reached the second year of the project, and we only continue to grow. Within the last year since my first BTE anniversary video, a lot has happened. Cities have begun to rise up due to new and old builders alike. My own building career has developed, and I have improved a lot. We hit new milestones, said hello to some people and goodbye to others. Events happened. Some successful, some not so much. We continue to press on and take on this challenge, no matter how impossible it may seem. BTE is a project with ultimately one goal, and this can only happen through the cooperation of every team. It bypasses so many factors: age, ethnicity, language, gender. It truly is an international community who can be there for each other. As for me, I use this project as an opportunity to build places that I travel to, as well as getting to build my hometown and many other potential locations to leave a small mark on this great endeavor. I have built in 13 US states within the past year, those being California, Iowa, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, Washington, Wyoming, Hawaii, Arizona, Michigan, New Mexico, and Alabama, with even more planned. I also built in 2 other countries, Germany and the UK. This brings my total, so far, to 14 states and 7 countries, and I plan to have a lot more in the future. On a more personal note, BT has done really great things for the growth of this channel and the community here, and it's really just impacted me a lot. As of this recording, I've gone from 65 subscribers a year ago to 189 now. That's just absolutely insane to me, and I can't thank you guys more for supporting me as I continue to make videos on this topic that I have just so much passion for. Anyway, let's get back into the video. The team which has impacted me the most has continued to be BTE Southwest. Even though I go to college in Tennessee, I am still a native Californian, and as such became most dedicated to that team. In fact, I am now co-owner of it. A lot has happened to us within a year. We've just about doubled in members and made it to over 600 builders. We reached a new player record, which would be 21. We finalized our expansion, adding Hawaii and New Mexico to our team. We implemented the North American Senior Builder System, or NASBS for short, and we continue to refine it to ensure good builds in a system where builders can level up over time. We also had some pretty great events. Arizona has seen several, such as a somewhat unofficial build session in the Papago Tunnel in Phoenix, and several events in Mesa. The first of these was one of our most successful suburban events ever, and the second one was the first build battle within our own team. We beat both Carolinas and Northwest in build battles. Sacramento International Airport saw a few good sessions where most of Terminal A was built. Build It 101 did a good amount in Waikiki, Honolulu for an event. Salina, Utah has developed from nothing to a good few blocks. The trial area in Henderson, Nevada had to be expanded due to the increase in trial builders. Overall, we are doing very well, but would always appreciate more members joining. There were also some very interesting situations with trial builders. One of them, which we refer to as Alex, was a fascinating example of a complete lack of any IQ. We get some of these members every once in a while, unfortunately. It's just a part of being a Minecraft server. Here was his first trial build. After this, he only went further downhill, doing things such as sending a picture of a puzzle to ask for help in the Minecraft Discord. He also built his own house in New York in a trial area in Nevada, never really understanding that the trial area was meant to replicate real-life structures within that area. He continued to do straight builds even after we repeated ourselves about how he could do TPLL. Later on, he revealed that he was 12, so by Discord TOS, we banned him. It was a very strange time. He was easily the worst trial builder we have ever had. Luckily, incidents like these are not incredibly common, as BTE just takes a bit of time to learn from most people. A separate situation unfortunately occurred with someone who had become senior builder by recreating the entirety of the very small town of Rachel, Nevada, the closest town to Area 51. He would have his builder role stripped for repeatedly building places he wasn't supposed to, altering other players' builds without their permissions, and refusing to terraform areas. These incidents are not very common, luckily, but they will probably continue to happen as long as we are a team. Southwest also had our first big collaboration this past year, that being with Bad Boy Halo, a good friend of one of our staff members and part of the Dream Team. He did a stream with Skeppy, showcasing BTE and giving a direct link to our server. This boosted our member count up quite a bit. Afterward, he came into our staff voice chat to thank us, which was pretty cool. Here's a bit of that.
It was a bit of a difficult project to sell. I think what I would do instead that I think would be interesting I would probably pick a spot and maybe build it with like somebody, right?
That's what Mr. Beast did.
That would be interesting, but I think it's because I didn't have any like screenshots to really share with them, because like what they were thinking of was they weren't thinking like to scale buildings, right? They were just thinking like, oh, it's just like a Minecraft. Here's the Eiffel Tower, and it's like 20 blocks tall, right? That's what they're all thinking, rather than thinking about this giant monstrosity that's like to scale. So it definitely was a bit of a difficult pitch, but I think if I like had the mods installed, was able to like take in everything at like the grand scale, and like really sell it to them a bit more, I think they'd like it. Because definitely Skeppy had a lot of fun looking at everything.
That's good.
So definitely I could see doing something else in the future.
Something else related to streaming was that I personally did a 12-hour stream. 8 hours of this was in Southeast for a Hometowns video, and while we did plan to continue building on Southwest, my best friend and I were very tired, and while we did start to build a bit, we spent the rest of the time playing BTE Checkers. If you want to check that out, make sure to click the card at the top. Something a little more personal for me was getting into a relationship in late March of last year, so of course, I had to get my girlfriend into BTE. Within a couple months, despite the fact that her laptop was a literal potato with less than 2 gigabytes of RAM and 20 gigabytes of storage, I was able to install BTE after buying Minecraft for her. Unfortunately, it did not ever work again when we were apart for summer break, but she did eventually get a Mac, and if she ever has time, we have opportunities to build together, such as when we work together on this McDonald's. Finally, I must commemorate all of our new staff members since the past year, as well as those who were promoted. Asger, Dean of Approval, Dees, Finny Ella, Geo, Quasar, Mickey Kangs, Power Person 360, Somenium, Tang, I Like Cheesecake, aka Evil with Love, Velocity, aka Slice Island 57, and Mr. W, and a remembrance for both our former owner Rude Yeti, who vanished one day and has not returned, and Anonymous, who will hopefully return soon. Another major part of the last year of BTE, specifically the last few months, has involved a research project that I'm working on seeking to study online interaction through the project. I've been able to do this through a research methods and statistics class with my college, and due to the amazing staff of the main BTE server, especially the best admin, Xylo Troops. With his help, as well as through the help of many other team leads, I was able to send out a survey to every build team at the time, at least for regional teams and a couple others, and in the end got 695 responses that I can use for research. I am very excited to see where it all goes, and plan to write multiple papers from this study, as well as conducting interviews for additional research and doing ethnography on BTE next semester. Finally, the recent Russian invasion has led to a lot of support for Ukraine within BTE, which is fascinating. How exactly does an online community that is building the Earth respond to war? Team CIS, the team which covers Ukraine as well as Russia and most former Soviet nations, blacked out their logo, with many Russian builders standing for Ukraine, doing things such as showcasing various builds that had already been done within Ukraine, as well as building new things such as Snake Island. The team owner himself mentioned that he was going to a protest in St. Petersburg. Other builders responded as well by building Ukrainian embassies or cultural centers. I myself am working on the San Francisco embassy and will make a video to show support. Again, BTE bypasses borders, so it was fitting that many of us have showed our support in these trying times. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and if you would like to help us build, links for BTE are in the description down below.